Welcome to the Help Myself podcast. I am your host, John M. Singletary Sr. I got to put that senior in there because I got my junior, aka LJ. That's who I do it for, man. That's my co-pilot on this amazing ride and my co-host here on the Help Myself podcast. But also, I am excited to be back on the world's most dangerous podcast, or the most dangerous podcast in the land. The reason why we say that is because we are taking the power and putting it back where it belongs. Where that is in the hands of the people. And who are the people? You are the people. So it's been an amazing day. I'm super excited, as I always am. That's going to be my thing. I'm super excited, but I'm really excited. Today has been an amazing day. This has been one of those days where the kindness and the generosity of people allow you to truly see yourself. And so I'm thankful to all of you for your kindness and your generosity and your honesty and how you've allowed me to see myself. And it's a good day. Takes some getting used to, but it's a good day. And so I want to encourage all of you, if you haven't yet taken the chance, follow these instructions real quick. The day you've been waiting on is here. Powered by Purpose. And go to the website, www.thehelpmyselfpodcast.com. Just click that into your browser, and a pop-up will come up, and then you can order from there. You pre-orders, autographed copy, personally autographed by your. So here's the guidance or the instructions. If you go to my website, which is www.thehelpmyselfpodcast.com, as soon as you log in to that website, there'll be a pop-up that will allow you to pre-order your copy of my upcoming book, Powered by Purpose. So you can pre-order that copy, and I will send it to you personally autographed. They should begin shipping in early December. So I'm extremely excited and appreciative of the support up to this point. Really, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm almost overwhelmed. Just the outpour of support has been amazing. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I will continue to do everything in my power to continue to be supportive towards you. And we always say these Tuesday nights, listen, we're getting close to wrapping up season 3, another run. So I thank you all, man, the support, the views, the shares, the conversations, the guests. Oh, it's been an amazing season 3. We're going to cap all that out first week of December. You know, we're going to talk about the season it was and, you know, how amazing it's been, and maybe hint about where we want to go in season 4, some things that we're doing. But you know how we do it here. It is always onwards and upwards. So, but thank you for tuning in. I don't plan to hold you too long, but let's just go real quickly. I want to encourage you that while you are working on being your best self, that you're working on bringing your dreams, you're working on bringing your passions, your desires into existence. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to remain vigilant, and I want you to remain consistent. As they often say, stay safe, or be safe, but stay dangerous. And I want you to know that at any given time or at any given moment, you're just one thing away. So that's what I'm going to talk about with you today really quick. At any given moment, That's what we're going to talk about. I said that like I was about to give my Easter speech. So the title of my Easter speech is At Any Given Moment, the Lord. Let me stop being silly. But do you realize that at any given moment, your life can change for the better, on purpose, permanently? But you've just got to stay consistent. One of the things I always talk about is that if I ever become an overnight sensation, I will become an overnight sensation decades in the making. And that is because you've got to find yourself doing the work even before you feel like you're actually going to get the results. Now, I guarantee you're going to get results. I don't think we say this enough. We always talk about you might not get the results you expected, but you will always get results. Hard work will always produce some type of positive result. It may not be the result you planned on getting, but when you look back and connect the dots, you'll realize that you'll get a result that you needed some way, somehow. Even if you're working hard and you might not be going in the right direction, maybe you need to have your pathway tweaked a little bit so that you can be going in the right way. The result will be positive because it will build you up. It will give you skill sets, knowledge, information, perspective that you didn't have before you got started. But at any given moment, the game can seriously change. And so I want you to be encouraged by that, because at any given moment, you could be one piece of information away from changing the trajectory of your life forever. One piece of information. Let me break it down a little bit more. So I've been working on this podcasting thing and getting into it. And, I've sat with people, how do they do it? Who does it this way, that way? And let me not express that as if I have arrived as a podcaster. I'm just one of many out here, but I am proud of the progress that I've made. I mean, I have the privilege of sharing tonight with you. Right now, you are watching me, and I count that as a high privilege. And there's so much that I've learned on the way. But right when I was about to give up, I just felt like it didn't have the trajectory that I was looking for. Somebody came along and gave me some pieces of information that changed my mind about what I was doing. And that one piece of information was allowed me to move from season 1 to season 2 and decide that I wanted to be consistent. And just by doing that, the connections that I've made, the audience that I've been able to get in front of, I've been invited to be on other shows. It has really changed the trajectory of the Help Myself podcast. And this show is changing the trajectory of my life and the life of my son, because it's connecting me to people and resources that I never thought that I would be connected to. And, one day it's going to make me rich. I remember sitting down in season 3 and I was really, I just didn't know where I was going to go with it. And now I had the opportunity to be sitting with someone who told me, she said that one, I need to record in batch. Let me tell you something. Some of my best runs were when I recorded 6 or 7 episodes within the span of a week or two. Those are some of my best runs, and we're definitely going to utilize that because that allows me to use it more to get the word out about the podcast more. And then she also added one more thing. She said, pre-record and go back and edit so that you can add things in as they happen, and it'll free you up to be able to talk with your hands and do the things that you do. And I took that advice to heart. And it has not only helped me with my podcast, but for the other podcasts that I have the privilege to produce, it has helped how I produce, because now I'm like, hey, just roll with it. I can add other stuff in on the back end. We can edit, we can do transitions. So it's really taken me to the next level. And wherever you might find yourself, there is a piece of information that is going to change your trajectory for the good. So you've got to hang in there, stay consistent, stay encouraged, because at any given moment, there's a piece of information that could change the trajectory of your life. But not only that, at any given moment, you're only one connection away from changing the trajectory of your life in so many ways. One connection, because you might get connected. We make the joke, especially in the book writing circles, we make the joke, hey man, if I can get my book in front of Oprah, it's over. And it's true. You know, this book, Powered by Purpose, if somehow it got into Oprah's hands and Oprah said something about it publicly, man, listen, Amazon would not have the capacity for the sales that I would get just based on the cosign of Oprah. And I read a book, and it's called When God Winks. And the author was talking about it. He said Oprah had his book in her personal bookcase. They weren't doing a story about it. Nobody was asking, but somebody just noticed. And she said, this is a book right here that I've kept right here in my nightstand, and I've been checking it out. And immediately after her saying that, hundreds of thousands of copies started going off the shelves. And so that's one connection. Now I might be talking about connection. I mean, how many of us are going to get to connect with Oprah? It would be an honor. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I would be honored. But there are connections that happen in our lives that change our lives for the better. I think about moving out to Vegas. My brother, one of my tightest friends, my best friends in the world, I already knew him, but when I got to Vegas, man, and we connected, we had a good time. Don't want to get off track, but you know, when I met my partner, Tim Quisenberry, man, it changed my life in so many ways. Watching him operate as a single father, I had no idea how much I would need to see that, in action. And also him mentoring me took my career to another level. And whether I talk about it or not, I'm legendary in military circles for my accomplishments, for the things that I did solo, for the things that I've done with teams, for the teams that I've created, for all of the national award winners and distinguished airmen that I have supervised, trained, and mentored. And that changed the trajectory because I went out to Las Vegas depressed. I went out to Las Vegas. I had lost my way. I didn't feel the confidence that I once had. I didn't understand where my path was going, and that connection changed my life. And I am able to do things that I never believed that I could do because of that connection, the mentoring, the friendship, the connection. You think about the connection, man. For all my hopeless, or I like to say hopeful romantics out there, man, we're all just one connection away from a level of bliss relationally. Meeting my son for the first time, I was the first one to hold him. And that changed my life. I was no longer trying to figure out how to be a man. It gave me a determined spirit that is unmatched. And I said all the time, man, it's just different now. I don't even worry about losing. I just figure out, man, how am I going to pull victory out of this situation I'm faced with? Because I have the privilege of that young man that shares my name, that shares my DNA. But more importantly, is my heart walking around with legs and arms. You know how that feels to have your heart walking around outside of your body? And that connection changed the trajectory of my life. And it recycles itself. These connections keep changing that trajectory. So not only at any given moment are you one piece of information away from changing your life, you're one connection away from changing your life. But more importantly, at any given moment, you are one action away from changing your life for the better, for good. And that's why I say stay active, stay consistent, stay in the race. A lot of times we are giving up right before the break. But if opportunity finds you active, all it would take is one action. All it'll take is one conversation. All it'll take is, one post. All it'll take is one writing. All it'll take is one creation. One action can take your life from average and mediocre to exceptional and phenomenal. And that's why it's important. That's why I think it's important to take this time to share with you, because somebody might be listening to me right now and be right on the verge of giving up, of quitting, changing what they're doing, and you don't realize that that next action that you take advantage of could be the action that takes you to an entirely different place. Listen, life is crazy. Life can be hard, life can be difficult, but life is also beautiful. Life is also rewarding. Life is an amazing journey. And I tell you what, I am glad that life is limited, because we need to have something that puts a fire under us to go out and accomplish all of the amazing things that are inside of us that are waiting to be accomplished. We truly can create a better world if we get busy creating the world that is inside of our heart and inside of our imaginations. Listen, at any given moment, you are one piece of information away. At any given moment, you're one connection away. At any given moment, you are one action away from changing the trajectory of your life. Listen, I will be totally honest with you. I had goals for my Air Force career, and it was a complete honor to retire in the position that I retired in. Complete honor. But for anybody that knows the military, you know, I had goals to go on to be a command chief and maybe even be, you know, the highest ranking enlisted member in the entire component, not just in my career field. And not because I wanted the spotlight on me, but I learned early on that the more position that I was able to take on, the more people I could positively impact. But I started to realize that there were things about the organization that I couldn't change, and were those things that I could live with. And so facing retirement, I didn't exactly have to retire, but I would have had to take on another assignment, move my son somewhere else, look for another job, start that circle over. And I wondered if I had it in me. And then I started to wonder, did I walk away while I still loved what I was doing? And retirement has shown me that I still love it. But now I just have to find ways to express that love that I have for personal and professional development, love I have for coaching and consulting, the love I have for helping people realize their best selves, the love I have for organizational culture and for leadership and diversity, inclusion, and equity. The love that I have for these things, it hasn't gone away. I now have the freedom and the opportunity to explore this love in innovative and imaginative ways. And I'm going to take advantage of that, because guess what? At any given moment, I could just be one piece of information, one connection, or one action away from cracking the code and making a tremendous difference. And the same applies for you. At any given moment, if you just hang in there, if you keep pressing, if you take the time to truly believe in who you are and what's inside of you and what you have to offer the world, at any given moment, you're just one piece of information. You're just one connection. You're one action away from changing the world and making it a better place. So, like I always say, look, I'm going to tell you, be encouraged. I'm going to tell you to keep pushing, because you are worth it. Your ideas are worth it. What you are doing is worth it. And I'm going to close like I always do. Listen, I can't help myself. I've got to inspire. I've got to encourage. I've got to empower. But I can help myself by being the absolute best version of myself. And you can too. So why not we do it together? I'm out.